is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, December 1st.
Woo.
Made it to
Where
December.
did the time go? I'm Jeff here with my friends Brandon and Stephanie. I really can't believe we're in December.
I know. This year, it's like the Truman Show. Every day is kind of the same, and it could be the 5th of June, or it could be the 1st of December. Who knows?
Hey, looking back, it might be the best year ever. We gotta keep our spirits up.
A year of appreciation.
I like that. I like that. All right, let's begin with Ellen Page, star of the Netflix show The Umbrella Academy, has revealed he is transgender. Okay, I'm going to go slow through this. An actor made the announcement on Twitter and said his name is now Elliott Page. In a lengthy post, Elliott wrote that he goes by the pronouns he and they, and said while he is grateful he can be his authentic self, he is also scared by the hate and violence many trans people face. Elliott rose to fame, if you remember, with the Oscar-winning film Juno. I love that movie. He is married and came out as gay back in 2014. So I said stay with me here because I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm a little, I don't want to say uncomfortable, unfamiliar is the word I want to say, with giving people the respect for the pronouns that they want to use. So again, I think it's a lesson we're all learning in this day and age, at least me. I should speak for myself. How do you guys feel about all this?
Well, I'm glad you said that, Jeff, because I have that same uncomfortableness, which is why I would like, going forward, I would hope that we see a trans person that works here or a trans person in my everyday life, because I want to, you learn things by repetition. So I want to learn what proper pronoun to use when it comes to speaking with someone, and not And that's not trying to conform to people being like, oh, what's the world coming to? You know what is the world coming to? This is what the world is coming to, with people freeing themselves of what you tell them they should be and being in their box. So as people, and not just trans people, black people, women, as people are coming out and saying, hey, I want to be identified like this, I want to be respected in this manner, the more we get repetitions, the more we get around these people and understand how they feel, then the more we're going to learn, and the more we could be in society and help these people be an ally.
I couldn't agree more.
I just find this so fascinating because Elliott rose to fame as Juno, a young teenage girl that gets pregnant and having to deal with pregnancy. I mean, I just find it fascinating when there's these stories like this. And then he plays a girl on Umbrella Academy.
Right.
So I find that incredibly interesting too. How is he going to do that moving forwards? Is he still going to be known as a girl on the show?
That's a great
I
question.
also think about his partner, his wife, Emma. So they got married in 2018. And obviously they were lesbians at the time because there were two women at that time in the relationship. And now Elliott he prefers to be non-binary, which means he doesn't wish to be a man or a woman. And I know I'm using the words he, but he has requested that he's referred to as a he or a they, which is where it sometimes gets confusing because I was saying to one of our producers just before the show, so he's asking that he's non-binary, or this is his preference, and so it's either he or they. So sometimes that can be a bit confusing, but just as Brandon said, the more we talk about it and the more stars and celebrities that are more open, so we see it in our homes and daily lives as much as possible, or our friends, you know, the more that it becomes more comfortable, and like we'll learn, you know, what are the right words to use. And our producer said to me, you know, it doesn't matter what, you know, if you're a little bit confused or if it's he, they, she, whatever the person or the individual wants, it's whatever makes them feel comfortable. So I think we sometimes need to sit back in our own uncomfortableness and go, oh, we're not quite sure, and just lead by example as to what they're asking for.
I get to a point where I just don't want to be disrespectful, A, or B, be so curious that it's almost to a point where I'm uncomfortable or they're uncomfortable, right? So I just want to be normal. What's this mean? What's that mean? Let's move on. Everybody just be happy, right?
Yeah.
I should have went to you first, Steph. She was very knowledgeable about everything.
That was good, Steph.
Thanks for the lesson. All right,
Thanks.
Kelly Clarkson. I just yelled her name, even though this is a sad story, like that movie. Kelly Clarkson's divorce is getting messier. The singer's soon-to-be ex-husband is seeking, get this, $436,000 a month in child and spousal support. This comes after a judge granted Kelly primary custody of their two kids. If approved, her ex would receive more than $5 million a year. So we get into these stories all the time. Again, now I'm going to get into this thing again, male, female, he, they. The male giving away the money to the female. In this case, Kelly Clarkson is making the money and has to pay out her husband. So it does go both ways.
And there's a lot of men online right now looking at this as some sort of win if he gets this money, because there are a lot of men, and I'm not trying to sound like one of those men, but let's say you see like a Russell Simmons, or you see one of these, or The Rock, if they were to get divorced and then or Jeff Bezos, and then have to split.
That's a good example.
That's a great example. and have to split half of their fortune. There are a lot of men that sit back and they are upset with that. That's why a lot of men do not want to get divorced. So when you see the Kevin Federlines, or you see this Blake guy who could be getting this amount of money because of spousal support, there are a lot of men sitting at home looking at this as a victory, and I don't. That's weird.
That's an honest opinion.
That's weird.
I understand. So in most situations, I don't want to use the word the norm, but more often than not, it's the mother that, you know, has been raising the children while the husbands have been at work or whatever. And then I think in this situation, Kelly's got the primary care of the kids. So what does he need all this money for? He didn't give birth to those kids.
He's got a lifestyle.
She's taking care of them.
But he's accustomed to that lifestyle now.
Yeah, but what, five and odd million a year? I don't think so. Works out to $436,000 a month. I don't think so.
You're fighting about $5 million a year. Do you know how much Jeff Bezos' wife got?
Well, yeah, but he's the richest man on earth.
And was still the richest man on earth after he gave up half.
Listen, I want to go down this road with you. We got a couple more stories to get to, but that we're talking in the break. All right. Felicity Huffman has scored her first acting role since being released from prison. Of course, everyone remembers Felicity, right? Felicity will star in an ABC comedy based on the life of a woman who inherited a AAA baseball franchise after her husband passed away. You remember Felicity spent 11 whole days behind bars for her involvement in the college admissions scandal. Meantime, Lori Loughlin is still serving her sentence in federal prison. She's expected to be released later this month. Me and Brandon think she's going to get out before Christmas, but she's not supposed to get out till after Christmas.
I said before Thanksgiving, so I don't know. I got to kind of bring my chips back on that.
What do you think about Felicity getting back into the spotlight?
Jeff, she was going to get a job after she did her 11 days. I mean, think about it. Robert Downey Jr., who had run-ins with the law. You think about Hollywood is all about redemption stories. And this isn't even a redemption story. She got caught doing what a lot of people do. You want to provide for your children. Ethically, morally, was it wrong? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean just because you were part of Operation Varsity Blues doesn't mean that you should be able to get paid for your craft. And she's a
But
really
she
good
took it
actress.
on the chin, so to speak, right? She admitted to it. She's like, I'm going to do my time and try to get back to my craft. Do you think Lori Loughlin will have the same luck when she gets out of prison?
Best she's going to get is a book deal on her sob story, From Riches to Rags, A Life in Prison. Oh, pull the other one. I'm over Lori. I do.
Riches to Rags.
It's
That was a great
terrible.
title.
Yeah. Oh, I've had to sell my multi-million-dollar mansion in Beverly Hills. Oh, and go to a smaller 10-bedroomed home with only 9 bathrooms.
Steph, getting opinionated today. I like it.
I think I love Felicity. I appreciated how she handled it. She was straight, she was upfront, and she was honest. She took the blame. She held her hands up, and she served her 11-day sentence. Oh, how terrible! But Lori,
Is there sarcasm in that?
Yeah.
Is that sarcasm?
Lori, I think Felicity's going to go on and have a lovely career, and she deserves to.
Can I just tell you that little Rich to Rags clip? Take that out, put it in your reel. That was a good one. All right, we want to give a big DBL shout out to friend of the show, Mean Girls actor Jonathan Bennett. Woo! He just got engaged. Jonathan's fiance James surprised him during a Christmas card photo shoot by getting down on one knee. And Jonathan told People magazine as soon as he realized he was being proposed to, he began. I could just hear this coming out of Jonathan Bennett's mouth because he's a friend of our show. To began to ugly cry, then ugliest cry anyone has ever cried. So Jonathan Bennett, we wish them both the best. Jonathan is his own character.
He's
his
awesome.
own character.
I don't think it's possible for that man to ever be ugly, is it? Let's be honest. He's saying he ugly cried. I don't think it's possible.
James is good-looking dude, too.
Yeah.
Good-looking guy, too.
Congratulations.
If you ever got a Halloween costume, James, I don't know if I should even say this, but he's the guy modeling the costume. I still see when I go to Halloween stores. It's
But if
funny.
they get divorced, who gets the spousal support? Who gets that lump?
They're not going to be
Stephanie in the break.
divorced. They're going to live happily ever after. They're gorgeous.
Congratulations, you two. Coming up on DBL Entertainment Weekly unveils its list of entertainers of the year. Will you agree with their picks? And viewers love The Crown on Netflix, but how accurate is it? Should the series be labeled fiction? Stephanie's favorite show.
Please.
That's next. Welcome back to DBL. The hit Netflix show The Crown may feature the lives of the Queen and the royal family, but one of the stars wants us all to know it's not a documentary. Helena Bonham Carter played the Queen's sister, Princess Margaret, in the last 2 seasons. On an episode of The Crown podcast, who knew? Helena said, "Oh, that's the girl from
She's in many things.
No, Fight Club. That's what. Sorry, I peeked down for a second. Helena said Netflix has a moral responsibility to warn viewers they are watching a dramatized version of events, and it's not real life. The most recent season of the show has focused heavily on the breakdown of the marriage between Prince Charles and Princess Diana in the 80s. Sorry, I got a peek of her, and I immediately went back to that movie, Fight Club. Sorry, but let's talk The Crown.
Okay, so. With The Crown, are all of the events that have happened in the show true? Absolutely. They are true.
Okay.
It's just, it is slightly exaggerated for television. So, to put this in a scale that most of us know, when we watch something like The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, for instance, are all the people genuine? Are they all married? Are we in all of their homes and following about their daily lives? Yes, we are. But the producers will add a bit of kick and spice to things to flare it up, you know, to make it a bit more dramatized. But all of those things did happen. It's real. I mean, poor Margaret, that actually Helena plays, has had the most traumatic time. It's quite sad, actually, if you do watch it, and if you're a bit of a history buff, if you look into her beautiful love affair with Peter Townsend and how she couldn't get married to him because he'd been a divorcee. True story.
And they played out in the show?
They play the whole thing on the show, and it gives you a real insight in what it's really like to be a member of the royal family, the sacrifices in which they make for the crown, which is absolutely incredible, at their own detriment. No, but it makes you really appreciate as well Meghan and Harry and the lengths that they've gone to live the lives that they have. It's honestly, it's extraordinary.
Has there been a moment that's happened on the show where you can think back to where you were back as a lad in
a lad?
Or a lady lad?
What do you call a lad? Is it a lass?
A lass.
Okay, a lass.
A girl's a lass?
Yeah.
I totally was thrown in the dark there. I was like,
so funny. Up until Princess Diana and Charles were married when I was very, very young.
Okay.
So a lot of it is set pre-Stephanie's existence.
Oh, okay.
But I do know of all of the historical events, and they are extremely accurate, and it's a good portrayal. It is slightly dramatized.
All right,
but
there we go.
honestly, give it a watch if you've not seen it. It's unbelievable. You'll be addicted if you're into history and you're into the royal family.
And long live the Queen.
Long live the Queen.
Coming up on DBL, the Entertainers of the Year for 2020, we'll show you who Entertainment Weekly just picked. That's next. Welcome back to DBL. Entertainment Weekly has named some of its entertainers of the year for 2020. The late Chadwick Boseman made the list for his iconic portrayals of Black Panther, Jackie Robinson, and James Brown. Little Fires Everywhere star Kerry Washington was noted for her role behind the camera and her political activism. And father-son duo Eugene and Dan Levy made the list for their Emmy-winning show Schitt's Creek. But there's someone, and I love this guy, who is not exactly a household name. His name is Pedro Pascal.
Love him.
He played Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones, if you remember, and he also starred in Narcos. This guy should be a household name. He plays this guy in season 2 of The Mandalorian, where his face is completely covered by a mask.
Ah, he's wearing a mask. Way to be safe.
It's very 2020.
No, but Pedro, this guy is phenomenal. Phenomenal actor. I love what he did on Game of Thrones. I loved him on Narcos. I didn't know that was him on Mandalorian, but that's definitely a career that people, a household name, he will be a household name soon. Chadwick Boseman. I mean, everything that guy embodies.
Yeah, man.
Entertainer, philanthropist, I mean, activist. I mean, that guy, he's going to be immortalized in the Black community when it comes to acting and entertaining.
And I would say even more so than the Black community.
Yeah.
You know, just what he did on and off camera.
For sure.
Oh, so I'm going to start with Pedro first.
Because he's awesome.
I didn't know who he was pre-Game of Thrones, I'm not going to lie. My first experience of him was in some of the epic scenes, one where he got his eyes gouged out. Do you remember that? By the mountain. Spoiler alert.
It was 10 years
It was about 5 years
That
ago.
was his
what
fault,
are you talking
too.
about? Spoiler alert.
showed up.
That was his fault.
He was showing off.
Yeah, he was showing off.
He had that.
That was epic, wasn't it? I mean, he was killer. Also very hot. Ooh.
Jeff, I have an unpopular opinion. Schitt's Creek is boring, bro.
Really?
I gave it
Wait,
half of an
how many
episode.
episodes did you watch?
Half of an episode.
Okay, you got to keep going. Let me tell you.
I'm not going to lie, I've not watched it. It doesn't
Okay,
look
I'm going to tell you, I've
either.
watched a couple seasons, and I wouldn't go a couple seasons if I didn't like something. When I first turned it on, Moira, the mom, I think I'm pronouncing her name right, I was like, what is that voice? I don't understand what's going on here. You watch 2 or 3 episodes, it all comes together, and everything it's hilarious. Now, when you see her do her thing, it's hilarious.
Don't make me do it.
I'm telling you,
I'm
it's
not
a
into
good
it either.
binger. It's a good binge show. It's funny. It's funny.
We're going to judge you
Judge me.
on your selections. If I go back and watch this and actually give it a chance and I don't like it, there's no more suggestions out the Jeff box.
Oh, his suggestions are normally brilliant. So.
Yeah, it's funny. Give it a chance.
Okay.
It's funny. All right, we'll be right back. Meeting's adjourned.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for some sweet, sweet holiday deals because earlier I showed Tori some amazing products. So check it out. Here's today's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSave.com.
All right, what do you have for us today, Stephanie Jones?
Tori, I have got some amazing products and deals that you are going to love. So first, we've got something that's needed in every kitchen. It's the Secure Cool Touch Precise Temperature 1.8 quart electric water kettle.
Smart.
Need it for your cups of tea in the morning, let me tell you. It comes with a quick boil button and features 8 heat settings for the perfect temperature that you like. Now, normally it's $60. We've got it for $29, saving 52%. And next, we've got the perfect item for listening to music while you're out and about on the go. It's the 2-pack Braven BRV 105 rugged portable Bluetooth speaker. And it's waterproof and it lasts up to 8 hours on one charge.
Wow.
Incredible. So normally it's $100. We've got it $20 for 2, saving 80%. Look how snazzy this is. It's the Aquasonic Complete Family Oral Care System. It's incredible. It's got everything you need for cleaning every inch of your mouth. It comes with a sonic toothbrush, oral irrigator, LED dental mirror. So normally this full kit is $150, but we've got it for $59, saving 61%. And then last but not least, I've got something that's really great for disinfecting your surfaces at home. We need that right now. It's the Total Vision Portable Rechargeable UV Sterilizer, so you can sanitize and sterilize your everyday items. So the UVC technology will destroy up to 99% of germs and bacteria. Now, normally it's $50, but we've got it for $19, which means our viewers save 62% on being squeaky clean.
This is fabulous. That's a great item.
Yes.
All right, guys, for all of these, head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals, and you heard them, the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone.
Sweet, sweet deals. All right, I do want to read a comment because I was reading something at the break, Steph, and
Yes.
Dave from Facebook wants to know, so you don't think, Steph, that Kelly Clarkson's husband deserves that kind of cash?
I think he deserves what he's entitled to. However, Kelly is looking after those children and she gave birth to them. He did not. He's very much intact still. So, no.
Intact?
Intact.
I get where she's going.
All right.
She's the mother of those children. She's the one that's put in the hours in those studios and the voice and everything else. And she's the one who's raising those children. So he can get his deal and he can go away.
You know what I never thought about? So $5 million a year means you got to make $10 million a year because of those taxes. Look at me thinking. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
soon.